Good evening and welcome to the Good Evening Show, when our news and current affairs program where they meet you live na the Unimac TV Fatima Campus Studio. And this program here, when our Good Evening Show, now we news and current affairs program where they bring people them, sabi people them, where go can talk about development and what's in the happen in the country. And me where they bring the program can to you, me na Esther Bialfona. And today with me at the studio, we get two personality them where na experts them in their own field. And the one na development communication expert where me say na that particular side is a big good one. And the other one they talk about environmental sustainability. So I will give the opportunity for me guests them for introduce themselves and we go continue with the program. So I will start with me lady.
Okay. I'm so happy to be here, and me na Dr. Patricia Jita Abdullah. Me na environmental sustainability expert, but I dey here today for talk on waste management.
Okay, and yes.
Me na Joseph Itiketula Jr. Me na be the former dean for mass comm and computer science, and of course currently me na a doctoral candidate at UCAS, China.
So today we will look at waste management and also education. So for start with Dr. Patricia, I go on fambul and go on for no waiting at the current states when it comes to waste management. Now this part of the country is already and the country as a whole.
Well, now we country today, I would say waste management now one of the biggest challenges we face right now. We look around, we surroundings, in the campuses, even with homes. We get a lot of waste through the litter all around. And one of the most biggest challenges of all is plastic pollution we face today in our coastal areas. Then. So waste now a challenge we need for FET. And when we want for FET, we get for put on the best attitude because we self now we dey pollute the environment. We self now we dey litter the environment. So this now all my business. If we're ready for FETAM, we all get for join hand and keep the environment clean. Because any say we environment clean, we will get a healthy life inside it.
Okay, so you mentioned plastic pollution where we don't see, but we still say now we country whenever we go out for do any purchase, any buy, now plastic and the give and even we self in we homes them. So waiting at the system that we dey in place when it comes to plastic pollution, waiting on the master sabi people waiting I don't put in place for ensure say this kind thing or this kind of pollution yeah, be minimized in this country.
We live in a country where we say whatever we do just like we say plastic now we use. But always I can like for side this example of Rwanda, Kigali. Kigali is one of the most cleanest cities in Africa. Why? Because they have a total ban of plastics in their country. Kigali now one country where they enter where they go with plastic. They use paper bags. And for we now, we dey use plastics. We not still able to get alternative to plastic. We still not able to get correct policy where we go get a ban on plastic. And even if we get a ban on plastic, are we producing a lot of paper bags? We go solve the problem of plastic. So the first thing we get for do for able to tackle this problem and for get an alternative to plastic. When we get an alternative to plastic, then we'll be able to tackle the problem of plastic waste. Although we get now some small NGOs them where they recycle plastic to another form. But is that enough? No. We still need more measures for able to tackle this problem we get.
So you talk about policies them will not be in place when it comes to plastic or alternative to plastic. Don't ever try for push forward certain, maybe certain programs them one I think so not going to introduce like the country that we mentioned, so we don't put like a total ban on plastic and then don't minimize plastic waste. So don't ever push forward policies them or want them before parliament or we don't go able for sign where them go able for put like a ban on plastic, even if it's not like totally, but partially no more. For we able for to minimize anything there in the country.
Well, as an environmental expert, for now, me feel limited just at a university level, although I do other advocacy. But someday, I hope say I go there in that big engagement where myself, my voice, then go here and give me own contribution to plastic pollution we dey get right now. We get representatives in parliament who are also environmental experts. We get representatives from government who are also environmental experts. But again, I always say engagement, participation, no matter the level where you dey, na go to make we solve the problem of plastic in this country. There are policies, but sometimes I always say we need for engage. We need for come together.
So the engagements there don't look like so far, especially when you say na university level, no draw now to the university level.
Well, for me, last year what we do with this, what I do with the students then was for go on sensitization campaign around town McKinney. We march from clock tower, we get placards, we get banners. We educate the people there on environmental waste management, how them go able manage the waste, who not go pollute the environment. We even pick waste from Monopick Junction to campus, right inside campus, pick all waste, whether plastic, whether paper, and then just for try for tell people and say, this is what we have to do. So that is one thing where, as an environmental expert, we don't do inside McKinney.
So how that engagement's been there, especially when we therefore include students then? Was it positive? Then we turn up for SFB? Like how you see, how you go able for late than this so
really
far?
turn up. Students they really turn up. We even get honorables in that class. We get powerman chief, and the powerman chief self now all be the match. Now all pick the dirty. So sometimes it's not about somebody in personality. It's about how you ready also for participate for solve the problem. So it was positive and it was good. And again this year we still go on the same thing. We get for celebrate World Environment Day on June 5th. And we are ready to make a difference also in terms of waste management.
Okay, so make a hold you this small and make a turn over to Mr. Ezekiel. Mr. Ezekiel, if we look at development and we look at education, I know say one thing we will not go disconnect now the fact when it comes to environment, the waste management, climate change. So in your view, let me talk about small but education and development in this regard.
Well, in the first place, I want to appreciate the invitation on Agimi. Development and education, they are two opposite sides of the same coin. We will disconnect them. When you start to talk about development, quick, you enter into education. And if you're watching Dr. Joseph present, so now one of the most serious cases that we get now, see, we need to take care of our environment and to weigh plastic all over the place. But as you don't bring calm this issue, I will put them side by side with the role of the journalists in this country, because now they bring out issues them out. I can see the kind news that we can kind of the social media, the kind news that we can kind of the mainstream media, the television, the newspapers, the news that we put where they deal with cleanliness. We know say way Motamani place clean, happiness they come, health they come, peace they come. And with the build up good relationship where we get health. Without health, we can say, well, but in a gentry. So the question when you ask now that we're not able to detach development from education, then two concepts are very, very important. Or waiting at the problem we are facing, we need for address properly now that the kind of way we can define development. In 1945, before the Industrial Revolution, the development have been quantitative. You watch what you get, the boku food what you get, or the road they want to make, the infrastructural presence with it, now development. But the way now with the goom with journalism, I for tell them that say not to that no more development, not make the people there happy. Una no go just be behind politicians and for bring calm the weaknesses and praising the strength, what we can call sensationalism. But also not disconnect a bit from them and try to see how far we will bring the community together, the politicians and the community together, and educate them about their immediate environment. And that is why the university is very important. University is a melting pot. And so if you ask me, say, if we can disconnect development and communication, or development and communication, or to FIBA, yes, exactly, you're correct. There are two opposite sides of the same coin, then FIBA, and as you start to talk about education, so you enter into development.
Okay, so you know, one person we don't deal with students, you don't deal with first from the lower level to higher level, the tertiary, and you then at this field. How do you think say education look like, especially when it comes to campaigns for environmental awareness? How for take care of the environment when it comes to waste management?
Well, relatively good. Now, so I go put them because now they see university the way very, very beautiful in terms of cleanliness. But the what's a relative, and they not to pass the exam. Because there was a time where I attend one university after the graduation, and no go name now. The beginning SSF we graduate to get degrees and they go into a plastic all over the place. So I begin to see outside where I come out. Is it that they still they behave like villagers? And so the university, the way we see them they come up now, the kind modules the way they put just like we talk to impresses then I am a specialist and we get expertise there within at the universities there now. Gradually we see some amount of cleanliness and gradually we see the disappearance of plastic and plastic rubber there. And gradually we see papers the way they dump up around the how do we call it, how they dump the papers and then now they around the universities. So to me, it's like universities are doing well, but relatively, but I think they need to do more because the university, they mirror the community. If a university, they do well, they see another community, particularly when they groom the students there, when they go out to the community, we will see differences. But differences don't happen now, but big challenges, they still there. So the university needs to do more.
Okay, so from your perspective, you think say now because we know they get information or education about the topic make people and behavior not they change, like what you say, with all the knowledge where somebody go don't get for 4 years, then the very days when they graduate and then just the later, it's more like maybe the education or gets like impact in you when it comes to waste management. So in your view, you think say now maybe lack of public awareness and they cause them thing and they will make people then still not able for change when it comes to waste management?
Well, to me, history builds the haunts people then. Now, what people they get from history and the community will be get a big community. The one that we don't come in for make sure so they fit against this field around the community. So tell the one that will not get them pass them. And so the awareness, yes, it will be out, but not we go for the gradual. And I'm not going to say because they see the community don't either mean they get the awareness out, but I think say now for just get the one who are the expert to be informed, say, they need for do more, they need for inform, they need for educate, they need for meet people them at the doorstep, they need for give the weaknesses of what you get you feel around you, because there are some countries you don't even eat paper na ground, but now you will go, you don't do your awareness all, when you reach the market, you will meet piles of field. Why? Because now gradual process. So this now for just tell we say, we need to just look at informing people from a formal sense, but the non-formal education se forget for, and informal education se forget for one. That is to say, not just using one instrument for get people informed about how to take care of the environment, but use other different instruments. Radio day, television day, newspaper day, social media day, then in fact drama day, music day, poems then day. And even with articles, they only write. That is why with university we get a community service or for put for the people then, not just for lecture, not just the research, but we go to community service.
And then be the other question
about for go to the community.
How education go, influence them communities there, because if we look at largely when it comes to waste, now them people and they because now then at the farms, now then they go now market, they actively engage. So if we talk about education, how most measures that we think say information or communication will play when it comes to them people, because say most of the time they expect like a different form of education. Then kind of approach with formal education. So what kind manner or approach where you think say go be lasting for them, for their own culture and for their own selves that we defend them?
We they groom the student then at the university. Then students here they groom, therefore go to the community. And before they go to the community, they forget the students they are informed that they go meet the community, so they will in fact start illiterates. They're not able to talk English, they're not even hearing English, they're not able to understand English. The local language, they can use them for communicate with the community and guided by the expert them, the one that they groom the students them. Go to the communities, meet the communities, discuss through them parables, through them stories, through them the music when they play, through the culture, the way of life, so then they go able to go and change the community because then already starts for become experts from the university. So the university now to the local, link to the local people. The students they will get a strong link with the local people. By the time when they will not finish up, perhaps there is a project where the lecturer will not give their assignment on the so when they finish up that project, they can change must therefore take place in the environment where they go. So to we not to just living at the higher strata, but also coming down, go down to the local people, use the students they from the university for educate. For example, the presence of mosquitoes. You go to some environment, they say malaria, they all over the place. So they need to know why that they happen. So the student then will go down. And of course, get a lot of modules that would teach student they take from the university, where they go down to the university, the local people, they forget them educated. I think we go gradually, we send students them gradually, we make projects them, do we research them gradually, the community will change with time. All these communities that we see now don't turn beautiful places, now gradually they start from somewhere. India start from somewhere, China start from somewhere, the America where you see, so there's a guess I boku feel today, but gradually they come to terms. That's why I see diseases that they reduce gradually, but then we use the students then for one of the local people or local community.
Okay, so Doc, as Mr. Sula don't say, what's the link between the university and the community people and when it comes to engagements?
First of all, say most of the one they will get at the university, they are living in communities. So obviously, whatever you teach them, we expect them for transform their own community because that's the essence of being in the university. You learn, then you go back and teach other people then. In as much as not to everybody where they na the community na the university, but some within the university where they learn, go back to the community and teach. I just want add more to it in Mr. Tola earlier on public sensitization. Now we even get environmental education, not only at university level, secondary school, primary school, where they teach picking them on how to keep the environment clean. So obviously, whatever we teach in university or secondary school, we expect the students them for go back and transform the community.
So on how fruitful and they don't be, they monitor them. Then thing and they read before say the students then they go give back to the community and they monitor.
Yes. For example, we get one student now with class, at the master's class doing environmental sustainability. He go always say that he don't learn a lot from how to manage and keep the environment clean because going back to the community where he did as paramount chief, he don't able put a fine and put a stop on deforestation. They say in one of the paramount chiefs and presently where in community deforestation will happen there. And we know the effects of deforestation right now in our country. It contributes greatly to climate change. So for the fact that he go back, put it on land and go back in community and implement that, that means it's positive, there is progress.
Okay, so now the partner with any, maybe the government or institutions when it comes to issues of this nature?
Yes, the good thing is the University of McKinney now get a lot of centers, and one of them is the Center of Excellence for Environment and Climate Change, women are the director. So we don't partner with a lot of government agencies and other NGOs who deal with environment. So sometimes we do engage, share with ideas them and try to bring solutions to some of the problems them we face.
So what are some of them problems there?
The first one I would say is water management. It's a big crisis so we get. If you look at a whole day, 2 going 3 to 1 week, water you know they get outside day. Not that sometimes I would say, not that in a country like Syria, you know to say we not get water. There are countries where they face more water crisis than we do. But the problem we get is how do we manage our water? How we go able to do maintenance for our water. We go to Freetown, you see a lot of pipe-borne water dey flow around the waste. You come to Makeni, they see people when they cut the pipe dem dey go. And where that water dey waste, obviously e dey bring suffering in the community. So that is one big problem wey we dey try for come together and see how best we will able to solve the water crisis, especially wey we dey face during periods of dry like now.
Okay, so in some way, meaning these challenges so una dey face, is there any other way, like alternative, in as much as you guys are una dey look for, you know, selves, una dey able for manage water during the dries, una not get any reserve wherein una go dey even like they use that for starters first when it go able for take una through the dries till the rains they come, because now even the during this in the dry seasons we dey experience it. During the rainy seasons we dey experience dry. So you know there's a change in
one thing the way we dey try for do way no too dey na this country is what we call rainwater harvesting.
Okay.
Rainwater harvesting na a technology where like when you have heavy downpour of rain during the rainy season, we dey like you dey dig big dams or reservoirs, store this water and for able use them for the next season when there is no water at all.
So this don't start or is
something we want for start.
Okay. So we dey talk about let me talk about agriculture, the aspect of agric, because we know say over the years the University of Makini have don introduce the agriculture program, and how this program don dey run so far and how it don dey contribute when it comes to, you know, environmental sustainability.
Well, presently I go say this is a good question because me now also the dean for the Faculty of Agriculture and Food Science at the University of Makeni, and over the years we don dey train with students them for able to their own small capital, raise their own agricultural farms in their own homes. Now we get what we call, we don't even establish what we call faculty farm, where they produce small vegetable just for tell the students and say, even with theory you need practice. Agriculture na one thing wey not just depend on theory. Majority get for be on practical because you get for show to the people wetin you don learn. And as a faculty we don dey improve a lot. We get poultry, we dey do animal husbandry, we partnership also with social business unit SBD, who also dey work hand in hand together, and sometimes we dey send the students and they will even get some of the students and they will dey for internship and they really do well from the faculty. So as a faculty we dey go small, we are getting there, and we want for go to an extent that we will be one unique faculty who will solve the problem of food in this country. Because
that's one major challenge where the country they face, and especially this part of the country so we dey so limited to students. You just see say there's so much when it comes to food such in these parts. So now let's say we don't get the faculty farm. How then they generate income? I want to know that this briefly, and then how we see say it don't bring development, not only at the university, because I know someone gets bigger, you know, bigger dreams, only not be just limited to the university.
And interestingly, the faculty they also help for trade farmers them. They not only depend on students, they train farmers, and they always also do community engagement. And as a faculty from this faculty farm, we don't sell small produce like cucumbers, watermelon, pork, and that money we dey save them for a more bigger project. Like I say, we dream and for that we solve the problem of food. One for at least if we able get like 100 acre land, we just plant rice. And when we do that, we believe that could be one way for solve the problem of food in this country, because at least that produce they get, we will able sell them at a low cost to people, because find out say most of the rice they get in this country now rice in the can in this country.
Important.
Yes, not so food, not so much of waiting with the produce as a country. So now that's we want for targets as a faculty.
Okay, somebody gets question here for you. The question says, how you go assess the current waste management system now we communities them, and which are the practical step wey you don take for improve sanitation and sustainability?
Like I said earlier, the problem of waste currently in this country na a big challenge, and we still dey face am. As an environmental expert in the field, the first thing in my first class of every semester na for sensitize the students dem on proper waste management, how dem go able even conserve the environment na their homes, how dem go protect the environment, and how dem go able also keep the environment clean outside dem dey. I always say other big problem we're having is segregation of waste na we country. Find out say we no get enough facility for segregate waste, wherein what is supposed to be for plastics we go put bottle, we go put any other thing there. How we go able do recycling? We no get the proper structure for let we able segregate this waste, because when you segregate waste, it's one way wey go help you for at least recycle. E go also help the one day even wey dey recycle waste easier for them for transport them to their own recycle centers. But the moment you combine waste in one way, it become difficult. For example, say you put food waste, you put bottle, you put paper, that don't give another job to the recycler. And not all recycler will get that patient for come on campus and segregate those waste, take out in for recycle. But if we get the structure in place for recycle or for segregate this waste, recycling will be much more easier.
Okay, so make I turn over to Mr. Tula. We come back to the issue of education now in the country. What do you think is the current state of education, and possibly you can throw light on some of the challenges that we face?
A very, very broad question. The challenges them now we continue where we come for talk about education. The point about the kind of education we in our country, they will not able to disconnect with from within the British people that come with. Although have been good education, but it was all about rote learning and community development. When you do with examination, you get for pass exams, I think another challenge you need for address. Certain individuals they are around, we know to exams make them better people in our country. And even the issue of emphasizing on we education English, and the more you talk English, the more they say this one a powerful person. You know, the more you fluent, the more they say this is powerful. Not only because you fluent by English, not only because it's a bit of English that make you better mortal man. And so we education they look at would be sober. One, examination oriented. We need for address this issue of everything is examination. Every student when they go to the university, plenty of them now exams that they think about. If you do not tell them about exam, they be sober. They go sit down and relax and go study. So that now the thing I know I think so we need for address. Another issue about we education and we country where I think say we need for see how far we go detach a bit. Now how politics the middle and the middle around the education system. Politics and academia, now brother and sister, yes, not true, but at times they can be enemy. And if you look at the history of a country, several years ago, when you walk that ended some of not be there around, we think cause the war now we continue at the universities. Now from the universities, they rebel them come out. They go groom themselves properly because you go to a university we heavily infested with one party or another party and thinking about politics, thinking about this government. At the end, somebody will get division 1, they get division 3, simply because you know they line with who say the lecturer did. Now they will book learning not able put straight. University now a place where a melting pots. University now a place where you for you will speak truth to power. Now you call university. Speak truth to power. When university right, Barabara one and notice board say support for so person that university they in trouble because you don't support one and different when they go to the university for go learn book. I think this is another thing. And another issue with the universities and with education and we continue that we not to put plenty interest for research. We not to put plenty interest for publishing. And with university, when you don't publish, you perish. And if you ask some big number of lecturers. Some day we don't publish articles. Some day we don't publish a lot of books. Some are professor now. But you go ask some of, from the time we start for lecture 15, 20 years, you know, ever publish one great article. When you publish now new ideas that you bring, because at the university now the community they learn from. We don't publish, now the community go give the information. Can you publish and they wanna say how far could change, who side the challenges then they. I think plenty challenges then deal with regards to the education system that we continue. Finally, what are the sense now that let we start, it is weakest where it should be strongest because it's a wide area you don't ask me about. So the primary school weak. And when the roots weak, the branches they survive. So picking they come out from the primary school very weak. By the time they enter the secondary school, JSS, the Mona. By the time they go the SSS for sit the worst, not you know the inside the eat. But by the time when they sit them worst, they go kind of the universities, they tell malpractices, they go the AI don't come now. They just they mix up, box up everything at the university and at the schools them. They kind of the university not able to cope. Eventually they feel they turn to dropouts. So now we address the primary school. People with doctoral degrees they for go to the primary school for go teach. Not only get doctor, that means if you can't turn on VC or vice chancellor of a university, but to go to the primary school teach, you go to the secondary school you help, go to the universities and the colleges that you help. So when it's strong, the root strong for we book learning business now in country, the branches then go flourish. But today we pretend as if we get quality now in country. We don't get better quality now in country for the JSS, the primary school, the JSS and the SS, even with the universities. Research no did at all.
So I want to take you back briefly how you talk about how politics don't be one of the challenges the way it comes to education system. We see say there's a change in the curriculum because when one party came, there was this 6344 system we've been in place, and when the other party came, it changed 64.
Yeah.
So how you think say that they don't unbug the curriculum, especially now when we prepare students for big job creators, they're not job seekers.
I'm happy you say we prepare students for job creators, not job seekers. The curriculum, nothing they change. Curriculum no they sit on one place. They change based on the context. They also change based on the dynamics where they are around. Sorry why they use big word there because people that they watch. The curriculum we don't get now one of the best curriculum for the secondary schools, for example. But did we prepare for it? Now this be happening in 1994 when Christian Atop we go to Nigeria and Ghana, go take the 634 system of education, which was so beautiful. But another white paper, a lot of recommendations that they will not bring for further. At the end they say, we change them, we see how far we will bring another. Now we don't change back. They say we'll see how we will put the other new modules, the other new subject inside. Now the human resource is not ready for the new curriculum. Now, in my own personal view, therefore don't begin to prepare them for the secondary, the universities. How we will groom the teachers therefore meet the new curriculum. So we get a lot of challenges. But curriculum for change, this curriculum in the Bricks is one of the best curriculum we I don't see because the human aspect of it, you see the way practicals, they like the mathematics they won't be learned today. They not now the same mathematics where they learn now today. Now you see the beginning, honestly they make use of them mental capability. But with curriculum, it's still the fella a curriculum we strange. Let we start forget a curriculum we get with context now. The curriculum will help we how we even the talk team or take day and present issues inside with local languages and talk about what they happen, the nitty-gritties of a community.
So that approach they not think say
that
go affect education system.
It know the effect. Just to give you an example, not too long ago when I see the Chinese came, now he's talk fine English, but the Chinese characteristics they need to play water. So the Sierra Leone characteristics for always they inside the curriculum. The Sierra Leone characteristics. In other words, for anything with the curriculum they do with, as you the lecture, back in the lecture, I must say, for example, Sierra Leone, I bring a context inside. Where if you left now the university, you will go fit into the context with any self inside salon. But if we begin disconnect from it, then we talk about the English or the American or the England or the Russian or the Chinese line included inside, forgetting about our own context for the curriculum, we are in trouble. So I think say the history now one for you, but more the history of Sierra Leone, the history of Macari, the history of your village, the history of.
So I'm glad the way you carry Dande,
Uh-huh.
because we go before link Dande with the role of research.
Yeah.
We see say now not to say maybe students are not going to make references to these things, but if you go search online, you might not see them.
Yeah.
If you go even now we libraries them, the library them more than full with other countries them books, even to Nigeria, then copies of them books then at the library. Then if you say you want to look for Salon books them or Salon, you know, it limited. So what do you go as a PhD candidate now? How you go examine the role of research when it comes to national development and even educational promotion?
The first statement where I make as a history, the beauty country when it comes to development now the country. And that is why we libraries them now they talk England up to this point in time. We library talk England because if they talk England, that is why you see now one lane we still use. One lane road now they use for 2 lane TTD. Then for tell you say we libraries them we need for go again and ask the experts them for start for the research. You are very, very correct. Studying in Nigeria and I did my master degree over 20 years ago. What I meet in Nigeria stocked with Nigerian books. Everything in Nigeria business more I need to promote. Every week they publish something in Nigeria. And so, but when we come to Sierra Leone, we still depend on waiting the white man give. Now let's tell you about the research we had almost summarized, becoming a literary hermeneutics now in the study. Made a look at just simple thing. The stories the way the local people then they tell, waiting at the African interpretations to that story there, and how the impact will begin there. Now in out not again, it is all about Nigerian films, right? And also American films, England films. And now it's social media, only TikTok all over the place. But when you look at and all about imitating, even musician, the way it start for singing in Nigeria they imitate. So now that thing they really look at now how we will interpret them so that they no go lost because modernization don't come. With stories that they lost every day. That modernization we don't can eat up and now we don't get AI. You don't need for even sing music, you can just give you voice that the composer for you. Then I will tell you how far the 18 and 1900s way of book learning will begin in our country. Still the hunt way. So we need for research. You ask like guidance and counseling, I go for do some research for guidance and counseling. Now one researchers them just 1 or 2 articles them for Sierra Leone. So Nigeria, so Ghana, so don't wake up. Who say what you don't go we lecture together. We put them up together and try for see how we do peer reviews and try for do publishing of what instead for the lecture you don't do for publish if we don't come together. But we are not ready, we are still not ready, not to just hear how all the universities around Sierra Leone still they face the same problem. Go to their libraries, you will meet now the Western type books, then the Western educational they meet, examination oriented books they meet. You didn't see anything where you will see something African, but it is Nigerian, it's South Africa, it is Ethiopia,
so
it is
Kenya.
Kenya.
What do you think possibly influence? For we provoke people and for they put their thoughts into writing, because if you there are certain people if you encounter with them, you don't say they're full of ideas. If they write this, you know, a lot of people are going.
Some of the experts they're greedy. Some man just feel saying I don't want green for publish, you're not ready for relates. This is not something where they put together. Now materials when they put. There are a lot of things they're waiting as and we will not research on itself. We not do nothing but research it inside Sierra Leone. But if the experts are ready, but when you get few people already come together, now they know more they publish and not ready for bring come the young guys them on board where they will able to relate, interact, put materials together and publish. And so to me, it's like the expert them therefore come on at the kingdom because they have already formed the kingdom. A kingdom where few are there, they make name. Nobody know for enter that kingdom of research. Make the kingdom of research scatter. Let the others themselves come in. Encourage like the deans, when are the administrative head, and therefore encourage the lecturers and form committees, form an office, society research, they go, then do an editing room, inside them go they edit some of their work there. Then look out for international publishers and we go publish for them. Because if you not publish at the university, you need to go senior, they need to promote you to senior lecturer. If you don't publish 1 or 2 articles, them or 3 articles, and you know go be professors. So I think say, but with time, I don't begin see something they come up because Sierra Leone Writers Series, I mean, a member of Sierra Leone Writers Series, a big number of young, vibrant writers that don't come inside now. And now they point them, they want to write novels about Sierra Leone, they want to write history about Sierra Leone. That don't begin to come in. And somebody came, met the librarian here, they opened an office inside the library in a very good way. Now, African books, they packed it together with some salon publishers. If you go inside the library, currently inside Unimac, you will see that office, they will cite the African books and Sierra Leone writers there. They are thinking the way forward and they follow you go make sure to be add to the melting pot.
Okay, Mr. Tola, may I just shift small? How you think, say, drug abuse do affect the quality of education at this country?
I can always, I'm happy you ask questions the way, honestly, like disaster for the country, the presence of drug. And currently, when you go now the secondary schools, I know I just want to pull the universities. I go to the small, but the necktie they all get tramadol, and they keep necktie inside, tramadol inside necktie, and they keep tramadol inside the polish. That's the way the polish, the make when they use of, yes, to polish, and they keep tramadol inside the collar, and they keep tramadol inside them side, they lose now tramadol. The issue of drug now is disaster in the country, and I can always say drug they increase the desire, but they decrease the performance. If you student they know this one, if they increase your desire, you want to go study, but performance better not dey. Now that's now one of the danger we drug gets. And unfortunately, the availability of drug abuse now, the drug now we country, now that will not able to fit it. The availability will not able to reduce it. Still, we get a big number of people that already bring a large quantity of tramadol and kush, all them bad food here, for we picking them, and then still they take them. So you go to schools now, you go to universities now, where lecturers start for lecture. Some schools there, as you start for teacher, the people don't begin sleep. And these are the people the way we say are the future leaders of a country. So the day we will go serious for fed drug heavily. To me, Ezekiel, that's a outrightly clear, we not still serious for fed drug abuse in the country. Because me, the mean a principal of a school, of a grade A school, and know what they happen. The day we will be fed seriously against drug presence now we country, and the day we start quality education now we country. But for now, we not start at it because their leaders they are always supposed for the study currently and they sleep. And if they make you sleep while other people let you work. So parents then currently they cry, and the pikin then currently ask for talk to because when you take one say you want to take them back the other one, the other day. So drug abuse is a menace. Drug abuse is a disaster in our country, and the leaders then where they are ahead of we. Therefore, you hear me now, and no say we know you will fight drug abuse. It's not pretend we pretend force, and that the presence of tramadol and some other bad drugs are still in the hands of the picking them. In fact, at times the picking they say the seller to them company, and at times teachers they say no go pull them inside. They say don't turn for sell drug at the schools then. Plenty schools then the way teachers they did the way they sell the drugs to the picking them. And the parents they back know they supervise the picking. Now for me under the picking they come out drunk, they come at school. They go inside class, they sleep, from there they turn back now in learn Latin. That is why from now to 10 years, if we're not able to solve that one day, we're going to forget a big number of students that we will enter into the universities empty-headed.
So look now,
they will not get nothing with their land.
Look now to the schools them. What measures the owner don't put in place for ensure say una minimize this usage of drugs and then school there, where they affect students there and then pupils there?
Yeah, in the first place, because me na one member of Conference of Principals, we don't get seminars and workshops around how to minimize drug in our schools. And now every principal already know the basic technique we begin they use, some principles where they use for bring and drug inside the school. And at one point another one is that you go to St. Francis Secondary School, you get over 6 cameras where they open at the school now for security, and we didn't know when anybody will come with drug inside the quadrangle, would be able to locate her fast and fast. Then the teachers and SSF, now I know that make that because the teachers them if they put hand pan drug and begin sell drug, in some schools them, then not trouble. So I think say seminars, workshop, educating the kids, the assembly most times are they up the assembly for tell you about the effect of drug. Will they concentrate on some other waiting the winner tramadol, but some drugs in the way the pikin no put hand pass. I think say and therefore talking clearly, even the fuel where they sell na them fuel center they are na drug. Take one stop off and put inside your nose, then you sniff and in the sleep for 2 3 days. People don't ever know about that, but that now another dangerous drug when pikin don't begin to move towards. And this petrol where they sell and the petrol centers. This is new, and they are solving sniff. They are sniffing something. Even the police they sniff them in the check. They see some pikin them wait, we want for the do that and then for stopper because with time it will go worse. So to me on side, we need for work and we need leadership. Then what I mean leadership, councillors, honorable, go up to president, go to vice chancellor, the principals them. Then we will show leadership and see how far we go eliminate and remove drug out of Sierra Leone. Else the future blank.
Okay.
Seriously.
Make I move over to doctor. Doctor, wetin na the policies them wey you go suggest for when it comes to behavioral change? That is, for only people in time for change their behavior, because in as much as una self dey try, una heavily rely on the cooperation of the people them. For you talk about this waste segregation, how them go able for differentiating different ways there. So whose policies you go suggest for the government of Salone try for come with way go able for minimize waste in this country?
Now we country today, I would say we get a lot of policies. Not that they are not there. We get policies, but implementation and monitoring are the biggest challenge we get. And I would say even in Freetown, we used to get a policy where you dey pay fine when in catch you dey trade or in a tweet. But at some point you see say this is dey almost die off. Why? Because monitoring no dey. You no go just put policy, they no able monitor how the system dey go. So the policies are there. And then one time I remember the mayor of Freetown be say that policy is still in existence. When they catch you, they trade dirty in a street, you dey pay fine. And sometimes if you dey inside motor safe, you trade dirty, now the apprentice or the driver in the road. So I make most times now you see in Freetown you get basket inside the transportation. And they tell you say not trade dirty in a street to have to put it inside the basket. So I believe say the only way forward on this is not about the policy there. We get a lot of policy in this country, but are we putting them into action? Are we enforcing them? Are we monitoring them?
So I'm glad the way you bring this issue of trade dirty in a street. We see say now some of the youthman them don't engage in this clean salon, and most people when they complain say then they dirty the salon pass how they clean the salon, because we don't see several instances so they go take dirty in this compound, as then turn them back because they see them again they left the dirty there. So how do you think say governments go able for monitor? Because even in one part recommendation for the policies, you talk about monitoring. Because so how you think say government are going for monitor them?
I would say the structures are not there. As I dey talk today, any government personnel or agency wey dey give me, wetin we need for do is now for let we get structures where we go able put in place for put this dirty together and probably recycle them or get wetin we call an incineration plant. We will be able incineration plant now a technology also we will be able like recycle, especially landfill waste. Because also again at this country we get a lot of landfill waste like Bome, this. But when we get that plant that technology they go able recycle or reduce that dirty they will we get. So all that dirty go able come. But we not get and I make you see say Bome, even the dirty they go take in a street. The structures then that we need. Let government able provide structures for let we get proper waste management in this country. So because we get the policy, but then we try for enforce the policy, monitor them, and put structures in place.
So how about recycling of them dirty there? Because they'll say this now we talk about the landfill waste now. So we get any measures or maybe where the University of McKinney don't carry it for system and recycle then dirty there, because you see bins around where get different labels, as in you for to wear glass, you for to wear plastic. So when I get any measures in place, so sound are able for recycle and beam there, especially the one that want to get around campus.
Well, what we try for do now, we are working on it. We want for launch a project where we will be able to get an university for recycle waste. We already get one by the canteen, and we get something like biogas near the canteen, where then they change waste to another form, waste to energy. So they try for launch this project. We hope that we'll get support from donors. We will able help we as a university for train or help university students them for able recycle waste and for able also transform waste to energy.
Okay, so what will be your final word to the one that will listen, whether it be governments and students the way they're around and also the community?
The one the way they listen to me today, I just want to see we get one app, and this app we get, we just also get one salon. No matter where you go, you come back home, you only just get one salon. So we responsibility now for let we keep the environment clean. We responsibility now for let we change our attitude towards the environment. We therefore put things in place so that we will help each other participate, bring ideas together so that we'll get a safe and healthy environment for living.
Okay, so Mr. Soda, what will be your final word when it comes to education and development? So young people, them where they look up to you, and also we want for, they self go and get the opportunity so they go learn most of them in there. What will be your final word to them?
Well, very, very important. The one that we listen to me for no say book learning. Some I can say it better pass silver and gold. When you don't learn a book, that book it will deal with you until you die, you go to your grave. But there is no quick way to book learning. I just want for just church, small one as my last word or last words for this program. Say exam and practice, nothing way they destroy them. And exam and practice, if they make you pass, you celebrate, but you go empty. And now they get different methods for exam and practice. Currently, they talk about the WAS exams. The way you learn a book, now so you get for end up with that book you learn, now you get for make you go, you present yourself well if you learn better book. So exam and practice, now it's nightmare for we need for address them. And at the issue of AI, we have to be very careful, plagiarization, we have to be very careful with that. When you want to learn with quality, make sure say you suffer. You 50 way you get, when you get a better pass the 99% when you go you in a fake. Because when you go with the fake one, you know represent you and your community properly. And finally, please, drug abuse. Drug honestly don't destroy, they destroy gradually what we learn in business and the country. And to a point, even lecturers in the week don't check. Then kind of some universities for can lecture. I know we call university names them. So they are big. You as teacher, you as lecturer, you as student, members say drug, they increase your desire, but they decrease your performance. I think so if you think about this, then Bukunani will go before now the country.
Okay, so we want for tell Fambul and plenty thank you. We'll enjoy with today. Now we good evening show. We're our news and current affairs program. And today we guest then at the studio. Now be Dr. Patricia Abdullahi. We talk about waste management. And we get Mr. Ezekiel Tula, when a PhD candidate. We talk about education and development. And me will bring the program can to you. Mina Esther Bial Fona, and I want to tell plenty thank you to the team. We make it possible for let we get all of this program. We want to tell thank you to the producer, when Mr. Matthew Kanu, and we want to tell thank you to the technical operator, when Nick Sanderson, and we camera operator, when Abu Conte. We graphic designer, when Amidou Kalon and Mr. Ashem Ahmad, and we executive producer, when Mr. Shebora Samba Kamara. Till we see again, Tata.